Hey everybody, welcome to the Book Nook. Today we're going to talk about a book called Little Eve by Catriona Ward. As what I've found with reading her books, the twists and the shouts are real. This one, as with her other books, if you've read The Last House on Needless Street or Sundial, there have so far in all of these been some really great twists and a lot that you just don't see coming. And I was very excited to read this book. I was lucky enough to receive a digital arc of it, and I read it in 2 days. Well, okay, let me start with my impressions when I first started reading it. When I first started reading it, I was a little worried. I was like, because I really love Ward's way that she writes. I think she's a fantastic author, and I'm reading it and I'm like, I don't know if I like this. And I was kind of like, oh. But it wasn't that I didn't like the book. The family it centers around is so disturbing. It was that I didn't like, but that's the whole part of the story. It's like this weird family dynamic that how these people love each other, even though it's like this weird disturbed love. The family seemed almost like a cult, more so than a family. It's a very strange and enrapturing story, and the writing style flowed so well. Once I really got into it and got over my repulsion of this family, I was immersed in this dark, disturbing world. It's called Little Eve, and it does focus on one of the main characters that's name is Evelyn. So there are several sisters, and then a brother, and then uncle is what they refer to. It's the man who takes care of them and has brought them in, and they live in this like old castle by the sea, and it's kind of surrounded by the water. People don't really come there to visit them because they're a very strange, eccentric bunch of people. And it gets into the story of their lives and all these things that happen. And this takes place in the 1800s. One of the people who live in town, because the children did used to go to the school in town, but after Jimmy McBraith's father was murdered, they stopped going into town. And this is kind of where the book starts. And then it gets into the story of the family and why they stop going to town and what they're like and what they do. And they have they do these weird rituals, and the kids aren't really fed enough food, and one of them doesn't stop speaking at a point, and there's just some really terrible things that happen, but they still want this attention and love from these just sources that are abusive and very disturbing. Coming back to the man's father that was murdered. So that murder happens. And when that happens, just other dark stuff starts to happen. It was darkly evocative and a look into a lifestyle and sadness and finding love in weird places amidst the ruins of just, I don't know what this family was. It took me to a weird place, but I did really enjoy it. Once I got into the story, and there's one twist at the end that I did not see coming at all. She had written this book several years ago, and it won a Shirley Jackson Award, and it won another award too. The British Fantasy Award for Best Horror Novel. And when she originally released it, it sold only a couple hundred copies. So they're re-releasing it here in the States, which it had only been released in the UK, I believe. If you like horror and dark, disturbing stories of family, this might be one for you. I gave this book 4 stars. It had definitely horrific, cultish vibes, and it was kind of like a really bad car accident that you or a bad train wreck that you just can't look away until you find out what has happened. It draws you in like a spider in its web, seeing this delicate pattern and how it's all coming to form into fruition, and what are the glistening dewdrops and small bits of light that still filter in even amongst all the darkness that is in this story. I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. This will be out October 11th, 2022, as far as I know, so soon. If you are a fan of horror books, the next video that will be coming up will be another horror book review. It'll be right in this area somewhere after the video ends. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining me in the Book Nook today. If you had fun hanging out, boop that like button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more spooky stuff and books and all those good things. So until next time, we'll see you later. I wave a lot. Bye!